In section 1.6 and 1.7, we'll just kind of be jumping back a little bit and doing the addition and subtraction of real numbers. So when we're adding and subtracting real numbers, the answer to an addition problem is called the sum, and the answer to a subtraction problem is called the difference. And when we're adding or subtracting real numbers, it may be useful to use the number line that we went over in previous sections. The way that we can do that is start with the first number in the expression and then move it to the left or right. Left meaning we're subtracting, and then right meaning we are adding. And kind of depending on whichever way you think is useful, you may want to change an expression from x minus y into x plus negative y. So just know that those mean the exact same things. Whichever one you like better, you can use that one. Okay, so let's do some examples here. So let's evaluate. So this one, hopefully pretty obvious. We just have 2 plus 3. So that's obviously equal to 5. So thinking of it in terms of the number line, I'm not going to do this for every single one. So let's say we have, I don't know, zeros right here. And here's 2. So if we want to add 3 to 2, so I'm going to start with the leftmost term in that expression, so 2, and then we're adding 3, so that's 3 to the right, which would get us to 5. So that's just kind of the way to think about it. Obviously, you probably didn't need to do it for that one, but that's how you can think about it. So for another one here, we have -2 plus -4, or if you wanted to think about it as -2 minus 4, they're the same exact thing, whichever one that you think is easier to help you solve the problem. So for a number line here, I'm going to start at -2. Since it's plus a negative, or we are subtracting 4, what that means is that we are moving to the left 4 on the number line. So that would put us right here, which would get us to -6. And then for the next one, we have 9 plus -2. So 9 plus -2 is the same thing as 9 minus 2. I'm not going to write a number line for this one. 9 minus 2 is just 7. Next one, 7 minus 9. So 7 minus 9 we can think of as 7 plus a -9 if you want. For this one, I'll draw out a number line. So if we're starting at 7, and what we're going to be doing is moving to the left 9 units. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that'll put us right here, and that'll actually put us at -2. So another way to think about that one, 7 minus 9 is going to be the same distance away from 0 as 9 minus 7. We know that 9 minus 7 is equal to 2, so that means 7 minus 9 has to be -2. So you can think about it that way if you'd like also. Next one, -15 plus 10. So if we have -15 on the number line here, we're adding 10. That means we're going to the right 10 units. So if we're going to the right 10 units, then we're going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's going to put us at -5. Oops. Got the negative sign. So that'll be -5. Or you can think about it as 10 minus 15. So same thing. Next one, -1 plus 6. So starting at -1, and then we're moving it to the right 6. Because it's positive, we're adding it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to put us at +5. or something that may be easier for this one, this is the same thing as 6 minus 1. Okay, make them a little bit harder here. So we have fractions. So we've already kind of done this, but now maybe after doing the number line, maybe it's a little bit easier to think about adding and subtracting with these. So negative 1/4 minus 2/3. So we need common denominators here. So the LCD is going to be 12. So that's the least common multiple between 4 and 3. Multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. Multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on. Smallest one they have in common is 12, so that's the LCD. So we're rewriting both of these with the same denominator. We have to multiply negative 1/4 by 3 over 3. That's negative 3 over 12. So I'm just skipping showing it because we've already done it. Multiplying 2/3 by 4 over 4, that's 8 over 12. And now we are subtracting the numerators. So we're subtracting negative 3 minus 8. Starting at negative 3, moving it to the left 8 units on the number line will get us to negative 11. So it's negative 11 over 12. So just remember that negative sign out front, we could have it, oops, let's put a little recall here. We could have that negative out front like how I have it written. Or we could have it in the numerator, which is also common. Or we can put it in the denominator, which is not as common, but technically it's the same thing. So typically just write it out front or in the numerator. Okay, next for decimals. So this one's going to be even a little bit messier here. So what I'm going to do for this one is recognize that if we're starting at negative 2.6 and we are adding a negative 4.7, first I'll recognize that this is the same as this. This is going to be the same distance away from 0 as positive 2.6 and adding a positive 4.7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this on the side like this. So I'm going to add it like this, and then my answer is just going to be negative. So adding down columns, 7 plus 6, 13, carry the 1, bring down the decimal. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus the 1 is 7. So our answer is going to be negative 7.3. Because they were both negative, we had a negative and we were subtracting a number. So it's the same as the positive and adding, but just different plus or minus sign out in front. Okay, so that was it actually for these two sections, pretty short. So that's all for 1.6 and 1.7.